the amount of money you can generate in your first, I will be bold and say your first 30 days of doing this.
Yeah, I would too.
Would be ridiculous if you found out. And the only thing, and I'm telling you, like, I've been in your shoes. Anybody who's listening, I've been in your shoes. You are thinking to yourself, it's not going to be good enough. I sound like a goof. I'm not a handsome devil.
Yep.
Right? There are every single excuse not to do this.
Sure.
But get over it. Go outside and hit record.
This is the Strategy with Jason podcast with your host, Jason Harris.
Hey, Podcast Nation, it's Jason Harris here with Digital Dealership Solutions. Hey, thanks for joining us on another episode of After Hours with Jay. I have my guest here, Skinny, Coburg Nissan used car manager. Hey, Skinny, why don't you give us that 2 to 3 minute origin story of how Skinny became skinny?
Right on. Thanks, Jason. So Skinny became skinny about 11 years ago now, which is crazy to think of because I'm 35, and that's those numbers start to get a little scary.
Was that when you got into the automotive industry?
It is, yeah.
Okay, 11 years, wow.
Yeah, started as just a young sales guy. I used to design websites prior to that, and then it got flooded real quick. But my dad sold cars for like 25 years. Made a really good living at it.
So it's been in the family then?
It's been my mom even sold cars for about 4 or 5 years at Ford.
Oh, no, that's cool.
So, I saw that it can be quite profitable and fun. So I jumped into that and started as a sales guy. Did that for 4 or 5 years. I actually went to Car Cost Canada.
Okay.
Was an account executive there where I've learned kind of the back end role, like what a general manager does, sales manager, things like that.
For the operation side of things.
Yeah. And then through that, I was training a lot of salespeople on how to handle a Car Cost Canada client, so to speak.
Okay, cool.
Someone has a little bit more information relevant to the internet nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was doing that, one of the GMs at a store said, hey, I need a sales manager. You're doing it. Come work for me. That was kind of my shot as a sales manager. I think it was 27.
So you went from the vendor side to the to the dealership side.
Yeah, to a sales manager role, and that was at Hyundai. I had a great time there for 2 years or so, and then throughout there, I had a couple stops at Nissan stores, which was really kind of my home brand.
Mm-hmm.
And then lo and behold, here I am at Coburg Nissan now, and been here for just over 2 years, I believe.
Yeah.
And that is a place that I call home.
And you've just been crushing it.
Yeah.
Used cars, month over month. You
Yeah.
guys are just really doing something cool up
We
there.
had a great 2018. Damn near, we were shy by like 4 or 5 cars, 350. We were almost at 350. We were so close.
And just to put that in perspective, like what was it prior to that?
I think before I started, it was not. I don't even think they cracked 200.
Okay, so we're talking a real 30-some-odd% increase over the 24 months that you've been with them. So let's get into that, because I think that's where the most amount of value in this conversation will be tonight is your used car operations, what you're doing as far as your video usage and your marketing efforts, and how you're kind of developing out the sales team to help you support some of those video efforts. So tell us a little bit about your used car operations then. Yeah,
so when I came to Coburg, I had to learn how to shift gears and gear down.
Okay.
Because coming from the GTA to Coburg, it's a big change of pace, as you can imagine. And I found myself with a little bit more time on my hands.
So put that in perspective, like what is the size of Coburg? I don't even know what the population size. Do you know?
No, I don't. It's terribly small.
I mean, how many roads? I mean, how many main roads are
we got like 4 main roads in Coburg.
There you go.
and you usually say Coburg and Port Hope together to kind of make it feel a little bit bigger than it is.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Right? So it's
so
not...
to put that in perspective, you went from a big metropolitan GTA style business to a very much smaller,
small town feel,
small town country kind of feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody knows everybody kind of thing. You know, we have a sales guy there that's been over 30 years. Mm-hmm. Right? So that'll tell you a lot.
Yeah.
And he knows every customer that walks in the door. It's crazy.
Just by first name.
Yeah. So coming out there, understanding that I have a little bit more time on my hands, and my dealer principal going, relax, it's fine. There's nothing to do today. That's okay.
That's a nice dealer principle.
Yeah. I started to realize that I could finally start tackling the used car video side that I wanted to do, that I know would work.
Okay.
I just had a little bit more time to do it.
So why video? What did you see in video that pulled you to it? Like what was the unique factor in video?
It would have been 9 years prior to that.
Okay.
My first year selling cars.
All right.
I remember this clear as day. We had a almost new Infiniti G35 coupe in our new car showroom.
Okay.
Had like 1,800 kilometers on it. Champagne on tan interior. This car was just gorgeous.
I even remember the car itself.
I remember it. I was in love with the car. I had an OPG guy come in. He's like, I want it and da-da-da. Anyway, he went away on business. Was talking to me through email. Wants to show his wife.
Okay.
I got a sales guy who's lining up a customer on this. So I get out, I kid you not. I had a camcorder that would use those little mini CDs.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember? They weren't
DVs. They were DV
Yes.
camcorders, yes.
Yes. Brought that to work. Took the car out of the showroom. Did a video in the kind of delivery area.
Yeah.
Okay. Edited this thing with Windows Media Maker, if anybody remembers that. Stole a track off of, what was it? What's that Need for Speed movie? Was it Need for
Fast and Furious?
Thank you.
Okay.
Stole a track off Fast and the Furious. That was my very first YouTube video.
Nice.
Sent it to the guy. Email me deposit.
Just, that was
So
he never received anything like that. It was above and beyond what his expectations
Showed his
were.
wife. Wife, I guess, liked it.
That's
And
cool.
it was the most, bare, basic, no audio, just horribly cut video. But at the time, that was all I had to work with. And after that, I knew that we could sell cars with video.
That's cool.
And then getting into sales manager role, thing like that, especially when you're learning those roles, I didn't have any time for this.
So the idea was always kind of burning in the back of your mind.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So kind of fast forward, now
Yeah.
you're here, you're at Coburg,
Yeah.
you're Coburg Nissan, you have a little more time on your hands,
Yep.
and now you're like, oh, that idea that's been burning in the back of my mind.
Yes.
You're like, now I can execute on it.
Yeah, I mean, we had done it a little bit at Ajax, and, when I had a little bit of time, trying to do it to, maybe clear a couple old stock cars, putting them all together in one video.
But here and there,
yeah,
kinda
just totally sporadic,
Yes.
right? So now I'm at Coburg and I'm going, listen, I got time on my hands. And I'm not someone who just sits down and relaxes. I'm pretty motivated, especially being in a smaller town. Now I'm
Sure.
thinking okay, we got to sell cars.
Yep.
And I'm in a new home. I got some time. So I just started picking up the camera on my phone and started going out and trial and error, just making used car videos, walk-arounds really.
Now, did you always call yourself skinny? Or did that just kind of come...
So
Because you've created kind of a persona around it, right?
I sure have, yeah. It's well, funny enough, it actually started back in grade school. I have always been a very small person, and I got teased a lot,
Yeah.
a lot. So
So you're like, whatever, I'll just embrace it.
yeah, I mean, when it came down to it, I said, okay, well, I'm not going to let them use it against me. So I started using it. I mean, even when I was at dealerships, you'd have the old dogs making fun of
You know what? I think that's so funny how we kind of built into these personas.
Oh,
and
yeah.
As we get older, they
Yeah.
kind of become part of us.
Yeah.
I had Paul, the Dodge father, on one of our podcasts recently. I come to find out that the Dodge father was actually his Xbox handle back when he was 13 years old.
Oh, that's
It
hilarious.
had nothing to do with him being now at a Chrysler dealership.
Yeah.
That was just something he happened to use way back
Right
in
on.
the day, right?
Yeah.
So it's cool. I think that to come back. Okay, so you got Skinny the persona. Skinny picks up the phone, I guess phone,
Phone,
right?
yeah, just a
hits
phone.
the red button. What does that look like for the first time?
about as bad as you can imagine. Yeah, so I mean, like anybody, when you think of video, and then you look at YouTube, you look at Nystat, you look at all these big YouTubers, and it's so clean and slow mo, and oh my god. So I have these big expectations, right? Walk out there, and I'm just piecing together all these videos, all these shots, and come back and sit down and 8 hours later of editing and subtitles and finding the right track and put it all together. And I watch it, I'm like, this is amazing. It took me 8 hours. Oh my god.
How am I going to scale this?
Yeah, daunting,
Yep.
but I could see the value in it.
Yep.
So again, I started doing it some more, and nicer cars, more effort.
Sure.
Not so nice cars, minimal
Well, you're looking
effort.
for your lowest hanging fruit. And I think that's a great point to bring up, is that for a lot of used car managers, every single used car has its own unique story,
for sure.
right? And that you always get that cream puff of the used car.
Yes.
I was on your lot recently, and I think you had a 2010 Mercedes with 15,000 K on it or something like that. Where the hell you found that, I have no idea, right? Putting a video together for that and putting it out there, hey, it's going to sell. It's going to do its job, right? But, we need to take the time to tell these stories.
Right.
And, yes, the first one took you 8 hours, but you didn't stop there. You were like, look, it didn't take me that long, but you made the commitment to continue to push through and find the ability to scale. So kind of walk me through that. How did you learn from take it from 8 hours to where you're able to produce it now?
So really what it was, I got to thank my dad. My dad's my biggest fan, like anybody's
there you go.
usually, right?
That's good.
And he'd always be checking my videos out and, give me little pointers here and there. And then I had some of my guys on my sales team. What do you think of this? So, it went from nice edits, nice cuts to, and never was I in the video. I should say that. I was always
so
behind
at the very
the
beginning,
camera.
you were behind the camera.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't want to be in this. Then I started putting subtitles. And then, anyway, as it progressed, too much time, too much inventory. I'm scaling the business as I'm scaling my videos. So my biggest tip, oh gosh, I wish I could remember who gave it to me. Jim DeLuca.
Jim?
Rest in peace, Jim.
God, Jim.
Too bad.
No kidding, eh?
The nicest man for free advice for someone you'd never met.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Right? So Jim, somehow we got chatting and he says, Mike, you're such a big personality. Get in front of the camera.
Yep.
And I don't know why I took this man's advice. I had no reason to. I didn't know him. He was a nobody.
That's cool.
To me, had no idea who he was.
Yep.
So
But anybody that knew Jim, they all knew that it didn't matter how well he knew you or how long you knew he knew you. You asked him a question, you might as well, the conversation turned into a conversation that you would have with somebody you've known for 10 years.
100%.
I mean, he was just that kind of an open of a guy.
100%.
So Jim turns you on and says, hey, look, Skinny, you need to get in front of the camera. Right? You got that. And Jim had that big, strong.
Oh, did he
Mr.
ever?
Clean.
Oh, you're under his arm and you're going, okay.
Don't hurt me.
Yeah, and he's just a bear, right?
But when you get to know him, he was a total teddy bear, right?
Yeah.
So he had a persona in himself as well,
Exactly,
right?
right.
So he saw in you something similar to what he saw in himself,
Yeah.
and he had a persona, so he encouraged you to get in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Now, what did that look like when you got in front of the camera for the first time?
About as terrifying as I am sitting here. Like you're just nervous, right? You don't know what to do. And the first few times that wasn't me. I was trying to be a little bit maybe too professional, a little bit too scripted, a little bit. And then after the first 3 or 4 videos, I was like, you know what? Screw it.
Sure.
I'm just going to be me.
Yep.
Right? Because I know that me in the past have sold a lot of cars.
Yep.
As a salesperson. I know that people, when they come in and they speak with me, they always like me. I'm relaxed. It's easy to do business. I said, I'm just going to be me. So, again, flipping the camera to me, I start off my video. I'm in the camera. I do my intro. Sometimes they're funny. Sometimes they're corny. Sometimes they are what they are.
Yep.
But when I got down to it, I said, okay, listen, if I'm going to have 30 to 45 cars on ground at any time. Mm-hmm. And I want to do realistically 60% of my inventory has video.
Very cool. That was a goal that you made for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like I got to rock these out and they got to be super quick. Mm-hmm. So I went to a 1-take challenge.
There we go.
Right? And I remember pushing that a little bit on LinkedIn for fun. But
yeah, I remember that floating around for a while.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to do a 1-take challenge. It's basically intro and then 1 take, walk around the car.
Yep.
If I goof it up and I'm I make a mistake, keep going.
Because you had to find a way to scale.
Yeah.
I mean, you weren't going to take the 8 hours, so you progress. So you went from 8 hours to a little quicker, a little faster, but still on the editing side. Then you get yourself in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Now, when you first got in front of the camera, were you still editing, or when you got in front of the camera, you immediately went to the 1 take?
1 take.
All right.
So I'm camera to
then
me.
That was the big scaling, changing moment.
Yeah.
Where like, oh crap, I figured it out. Now I can do this. I'll challenge myself as an individual. I'll do the 1 take, hit the red button. It is what it is when it comes out.
Yeah.
All right. Either the good, the bad, the ugly,
Absolutely.
or the mess ups, or
Oh yeah.
it's just a whole part of just the persona, the brand, the whole thing.
And that's it. That was the brand.
Yes.
Right? I wanted to be
Authentic.
Yes. That's the word I was going to search for that. I wanted to be 100% authentic. So that when someone watches it, because let's put in context who's watching it.
Sure.
It's a consumer who's looking at a used car. And they're going, okay, I'm not in Coburg. Okay?
Oh, yeah. A lot of people have to understand that Coburg and the kind of the Port Hope area, your closest major city is 45 minutes an hour.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Is that about right?
We'll say 40 minutes.
Okay, it's about 40
Bowmanville,
minutes.
that's not a major city.
I still wouldn't consider that major, but
Right.
yes, okay.
Right.
So yeah, you're kind of in this island. There's not a lot
It's a
around
destination.
you. It's a destination. So
Yeah.
people do have to come
Oh, yeah.
to you.
Yeah. And we were getting phone calls saying, I'm calling from Toronto, but it's a long drive. And so this is where part and parcel of having these authentic videos really to me made sense. I can have a customer come in and look at my specific used car and get an 8 to 15, 20 minute, whatever the case calls for, feel the car, but it's real.
Oh, see, that's a really quick point that I think we should highlight for the listeners. These videos you're putting together, they're not 2 minutes.
No.
They're not 3.
No.
I've literally seen some of you posts that are damn near 20 minutes long.
My longest one right now is a 22-minute one that I just did 2 weeks ago.
Okay, maybe that was the one.
Yeah.
I mean, you're literally having the conversation like if the person was there in the first place.
Yes. All right. I mean, I'm a big firm believer on the sales process, feature, benefit, value, walk around.
Yep.
I do that.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Let them consume that from the warmth and luxury of their home while they're sitting in their PJs or whatever.
And when I started doing these full-length videos, everybody, including my dad, said these are too long.
Yeah. Well, the entire industry would tell you that they're too long.
Because people were thinking it's an advertisement. People were thinking I was using this
but that's not what
to go and put on Facebook and say, here, guys, watch this car. No. I have a captivated audience looking at that specific vehicle on Kijiji or my website.
Yep.
So they're already interested in that car. Why not give them a real look at it?
Yeah, not a 2-3 minute long one.
No, like I'm talking,
like
if there's
really
a scratch, a
in-depth.
ding, and a dent, I'll show you.
Yeah, you're highlighting everything.
Yeah.
What you do is you're telling a story.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, well, let's use a Nissan Rogue, for example. Right? Look, if we were to go on the marketplaces right now, I'm sure we'd probably find easily 200 neat pre-owned Nissan Rogues, within, 14 to 15.
For sure.
2014 to 2015, right?
For sure.
Within a few 100-kilometer distance of where you guys are, right? It's the story of your specific one and taking the time to really execute the full length of that story is where you see the consumer sees the value in.
100%. I mean, I've seen some really dealers do they put in a lot of effort to doing a description in their ad. And there's not a lot of dealers that even do that.
Yep.
But there are some dealers that really try to sell a story in the ad. But let's face it, our eyes go to pictures. We read the first 2 lines of text. When we realize it doesn't interest me, next.
Our brains aren't wired that way.
No, they're not.
Don't. I mean, if I asked you what were the last 3 or 4 text ads you saw, there ain't no way in hell you'd recall them.
Yeah.
If I asked you what were the last 3 or 4 display ads you saw, you might be able to recall 1, maybe 2, because our brain, we are very visual.
Yeah.
But if I asked you what were the last 3 or 4 or 5 videos you watched, you would be able to recall damn near all 5.
Oh, yeah.
Just because that's the way we're wired. Our
We are,
brains,
yeah,
we're able to, that content, we're able to retain it because it incorporates both the audio and the visual senses. And we just have a much higher probability of retaining the information.
Yeah. So getting back to kind of what we're doing that whole feature value presentation in a video on a specific used car. I'll bring the file into the car, and when I get into it, I'll open the file, show them a spare key, show them the car proof report. So that way they have the confidence of seeing that as well. We go through the whole.
So you're able to express transparency.
Yeah,
it's all there.
It's as transparent as it gets. Here's the scratch on the car.
Well,
here's
it's
a little
22
ding.
minutes of transparency.
Yeah. Right. I mean. And really what that translates into is a customer now calling saying, watch the video, love it, you guys deliver? Okay, so how do we wrap this up?
Their confidence is incredibly high.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Like I have customers every day that will show up at the lot. We're not flooded with customers.
Sure.
But, we have customers that come in saying, I'm here for that car. Hey, you're skinny. I saw your video.
Yeah.
Awesome job, man. I had a guy...
because, look, I mean, they're making a $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 purchase. Yeah. Is it ridiculous to think they're not going to consume a 10, 15, 20-minute piece?
No.
If they're making that size of investment, I think they'll consume it.
100%. 100%. I mean, one of the things I have to remind myself, because sometimes I'll get frustrated. Just the other day, I was doing a video on an 18 Murano Platinum, gray, and a 17 Murano Platinum, gray.
Nice.
And I had to bang these out one after another. And I remember saying to myself, could I not just do one generic video? But I can't, because it's a used car. Right?
That's right.
I think
that's what's really key. I think moving into used cars, and it's a great point that we should probably bring up now, is profit margins on used cars are getting squeezed and squeezed and squeezed between online auction environments and physical auction environments. You know, the ability to find vehicles with relatively decent gross profit and margins is just not there anymore, right?
For sure.
So, you know, we have to do a better job of kicking old school is selling the sizzle, right?
Yeah, you've got to merchandise.
Like you got to do it. If you're running a used car department out there right now and you are not actively telling the vehicle story through video, then really I think you're just leaving money on the table.
You are.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, no, because it's open to interpretation from the consumer's point.
Yeah.
What's different from that rogue to that rogue to that rogue that I just looked at?
Yeah.
Well, the difference is when a guy clicks on my ad and sees my rogue and sees everything on it, he loves it.
Oh yeah,
right?
He's able to consume the entire thing.
Yeah, I mean the biggest compliment I get, and it happens once or twice a month, is I watched your video 2 or 3 times.
Wow. And I think that's the other point too, is that we don't want to, when we are doing these videos, it's key that we don't get caught up in vanity style metrics. It doesn't matter how many people watch the damn video.
I don't ever look at my views.
One individual.
Yep.
If there's 20 views or 20,000 views, it doesn't matter.
Couldn't care less.
It only takes one person to buy the car.
Absolutely. I've never once looked to see what my views were for any kind of self-promotion or any kind of justification or validation.
And the reason I bring that is because I think it's value for a lot of the listeners.
Absolutely.
People that have been doing video.
Absolutely.
One of the excuses I've heard is that, well, Jason, I only got 45 views.
Yeah. It takes one.
That's it.
One.
It only takes one.
I have some vehicles that have 3 views, but guess what? The 3rd one came in.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's exactly correct. I mean, I remember, you know, I had God, what the heck was it? It was an older vehicle anyway that we brought into the store by fluke, and I did this video and I had the right soundtrack, and you know I did one of these extra special videos, and it knocked it out of the park. Everybody loved it, got huge reviews, views, everything. And I remember saying to myself, "Oh, great!" Subaru WRX comes in, almost new, and I'm like, "I'm gonna do the same thing for this one. Watch this. If they like that," and it bombed.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, imagine if I was a sales guy or someone who's just starting to do video. And I fluked the first one and I got huge views. And then the second one, I'm ramped up and it just dropped nothing.
Yeah.
Would you do it? Would you keep doing it?
That's what I'm saying. Like, we need to not focus on that.
Like,
we got to put the blinders on, all right, continue to run the race and develop the content. I think it's very a field of dreams kind of thing. You know, build it and they will come.
Yep.
Right reference? Yes. You know, you just continue to make the commitment like you did. You made the commitment of always consistently doing that content.
Yeah.
So what have been some of the challenges that you found so far?
Personal challenges or real challenges? 'Cause they're far in between, right? I mean, you know, personal challenges is being lazy.
Yeah.
Right? It's very easy to be lazy in this business. Especially as a manager. You know,
downtime.
Yeah, I mean, you know, as we were talking about the other day, I come into work, as I'm driving into work, I set goals for the day, right? I'm going to get this done, this done, this done. You get in and something always comes up.
Oh, yeah, 15 other things, 15 other fires need to be dealt with.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I'll just push it off a little later.
Absolutely. But what I always remember back is how well this is working and how well this has really grown the success of the store.
Yep.
So I always find time. And one of my goals always, every day I'm driving in, I got to bang out 1 or 2 videos. I have to.
It's the routine.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not going to lose the weight if I don't consistently go to the gym. Right?
Yeah.
Just because I went to the gym a few times and I snapped my Instagram pictures, you know, they don't mean I lost the weight.
Exactly.
You know, it's that consistent routine.
Yeah.
So that would be one of the best practices. People need to make this routine.
Yeah.
You would prefer to do them first thing in the morning, come out, get on the way. How many would you normally do in a morning?
Well, it depends on what's new for inventory, sure, right? My thing that I got into, the best routine that I got into was, because I do my own photos as well. When I do the photos, do the video, man. Don't stop. The car's clean.
Okay, that just kind of naturally makes a nice progression from, I'm literally going to do it at the exact same time.
Yeah, because if I don't, and I go park the car, next thing I know, I got to wash it again. Or, it's dirty again. Or you'll never do it.
Cool.
Right? So, car's cleaned, pictures done, do the video, put the car away. Then you're done. And you move on.
Yeah.
Right? So if I get new inventory, that's my goal. My goal is never to put the car away until it's complete.
Now, when you're creating the video, do you have a couple categories of content that you want to make sure you get out? Like, do you have kind of pre-designed, like just like a routine? Do we kind of have a little structure to the videos that you always
for
maintain?
sure. Yeah,
so
yeah.
walk me through the structure then of the video.
Start the video again. If you want to work on the branding point of things for either the store or if you're a salesperson doing this, camera to you.
Yep.
Right. Put the face into it, so that way somebody can come in and ask for Jason, ask for Mike, ask for Kyle. Right. So it's always camera towards me. Brief introduction, whatever you want to say. Then it's camera towards the car, and it's a walk around, right? And if you haven't been trained in a walk around, but doing a walk around with a customer, it's probably the wrong business.
It's a structured. It's a structured play. So you start from the outside.
Driver's side corner, and what I usually do is I like to talk about the vehicle history, specifically that car,
because it's unique to that car.
Yeah. One owner, no accidents, whatever you want to roll through there.
Yep.
Then I like going through the vehicle history, like like a Nissan Murano started in 2004, and now this is 2016.
So you're selling a little bit of the history story.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool.
There's some brand heritage that I always like to throw in if I know it, right?
Yeah.
Why not?
100%.
And I always assume it's a customer's first time looking at the car, right? And that's a key thing.
And that's in our industry, we really need to keep that at one of our forefronts when we're thinking of developing out the videos, that we get so we're so in our space that we forget that people have never heard of a Nissan Rogue.
Right, absolutely.
Or they've never heard of a Nissan Murano.
Yeah.
Even though we literally eat it and chew it all day long, that doesn't mean that somebody else has.
I would still get people coming. I see the Rouge. It's like, oh my gosh.
Right? The Rouge.
And that just reminds me every now and then, like, people have never seen these cars before sometimes, right? So I'm always of the mind frame that I'm going to do this like you've never seen this car before.
So from a content perspective, it's a great way to start it off. Treat the video like no one's ever heard or met the vehicle before.
Yeah.
Cool. Good idea.
And then it's just the full outside of the car, right? You're going to talk about dings, dents, scratches, because it's a used car, guys. They're going to have...
You're going to be real.
Yeah.
Pros and cons.
Yeah.
Really.
And listen, do not put on your broadcaster voice. Do not put up, don't do the tie-up tight. No. People want to buy from people they are real with, right?
Because you're not just selling the car, you're also selling the individual that's going to help you when they come to buy the car.
And that was one of the things that I did in the beginning.
Yeah.
As I tried to be a little bit too uptight or too professional. Man, if you don't want to buy a car from Skinny, don't buy a car from Skinny. That's cool with me.
Yeah.
You're going to love my video though, so don't worry, watch this. You know what I mean? And that's just the confidence. You have to have a little bit of confidence doing it.
Yeah.
And the confidence comes with being yourself.
That's another great key takeaway. It's just being yourself.
Yeah.
Whatever voice you normally use, however you would normally talk to when you're friends or family. Is that not probably a great way to look at it too? Is think of this: you're selling this car to one of your friends' friends, so therefore it's kind of
absolutely. Because you're going to talk about it how you would talk. If you said to me, "Hey, Mike, I'm looking at this car real quick. Just shoot a video. Tell me what it's about."
Yeah.
That's how I want to come across to a customer, because I honestly think that's how people want to be treated.
Yes.
Right? Like you're my buddy.
I'm
going to tell you like
that's how they
buddy.
want to consume the content.
Yeah.
Not these big flashy production pieces and everything else. It's the authentic realness.
Yeah.
Not only in the way we present the vehicle and the features and benefits and also the pros and cons of being a pre-owned vehicle, but then also just in the individual themselves.
Yeah.
We're buying not only car, we're buying that salesperson to go along with it as well.
For sure. Absolutely.
Cool.
I 100% agree with that, right? And that's why especially if we're talking about doing this as a salesperson, which I wholeheartedly promote.
Yeah, I think that's a great leadway. Let's take that. We've talked about the importance of doing this at the used car manager level, and I honestly, anybody that's going to know the story of each car intimately, it's going to be the used car manager.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, it makes sense for them to either actively participate, be in front of the camera, or at least behind the camera, but just to ensure that each one of these unique stories are being told appropriately to what he or she knows them to be.
100%.
Right? Now, I totally agree with you. If I was a salesperson and I was just able to go back in time and sell cars again, I would just be a video monster.
Yeah.
I mean, just literally all the time. So what can we tell the guys out there that are sitting around right now in the showroom, possibly listening to this podcast, all right, and just staring out the window looking for traffic to walk through that door?
Man, you've got the power you have in your pocket with this $800 cell phone that if you lost, you would go immediately to the store and buy another one.
Yes, 100%.
Right?
Imagine living your life with that one.
Like you would immediately go and buy one of these again.
Yep.
The amount of money you can generate in your first, I will be bold and say your first 30 days of doing this.
Yeah, I would too.
Would be ridiculous if you found out. And the only thing, and I'm telling you, like I've been in your shoes. Anybody who's listening, I've been in your shoes. you are thinking to yourself, it's not gonna be good enough. I sound like a goof. I'm not a handsome devil.
Yep.
Right? There are every single excuse not to do this.
Sure.
But get over it. Go outside and hit record.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
You just got to hit the damn red button.
Yeah.
You know, I was at a dealership today. I was telling them the exact same thing. They're like, how do I make content? I'm like, I pulled my phone out. I turned the camera on. And I said, you see that button right there?
Yeah.
That's what starts it all.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, just hit that.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever comes after that, it just is what it is. Just roll with it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
From a branding perspective, for the salesperson, what's the value in them in consistently doing these video pieces together to support themselves as a brand?
So, step one.
Yep.
Sales guy, if you're listening, you want to do this. You're going to go outside. You're going to do your video. You're going to go do 2 or 3 cars just for fun. That's, long or short, you want to do it. You're going to
just get the first time out of your system. Just go and do it. Doesn't necessarily mean you got to post it. Just go and do it.
Just bang a couple off just to get comfortable.
Yep.
Then let's take what we've learned after watching our videos. Let's go do a nice one. You're going to walk inside. You're going to go to your used car manager. You're going to sit down in front of him. You're going to say, listen, boss, I've got this idea, and here's what I want to do. And you're going to show him the video. And you're going to say, what I'd like to do is I'd like you to take these and put them on our website and put them on our listings. And I'm going to do the videos for you. And then people will just naturally coming in asking for Jason.
I see. I don't get that's where I struggle. I mean, why aren't more salespeople doing this? It's absolutely beyond me. Because the dealerships are like, all right, you want to build us content and I don't have to pay for it? You're going to do it? All right, cool, go build the content. I'll post up there. I mean, the exposure opportunity, plus the story aspect of it is gigantic. Mm-hmm. You know, when I first started selling cars, now where I started selling cars in the U.S., it's customary that when you sell your first car, they cut your tie. Yeah, I know there's still some dealerships that are doing it. A lot of them in the U.S., not so much in Canada, but there's still a few that are doing it, right? I wore that cut tie for 4 weeks, all right, until finally my manager said, I know what you're doing, all right? You're going to have to put yourself a proper tie on. But you know what it was just for me? It was an opportunity to tell a story. Yeah. All right, people buy stories; they don't buy products. Product is once they buy into the story, the product is the secondary purchase. Yeah. The first purchase is the story. We collect stories. Yeah. From our favorite hotels to our favorite restaurants to our favorite clothes to our favorite brands. These are all stories that we collect. Yeah. The collectiveness of these stories is what actually we define ourselves as individuals, right? And I used that story of that cut tie. I mean, people would come in and go, "Your tie is cut." Well, let me tell you the story why. Yeah. Right? And I was like, I'm new, you're one of my first few clients. I really hope I don't screw this up. I apologize if I do anything wrong. And they'd just be like butter in my hands. Yeah. Oh no, it's okay. Like they want to help me sell them a car, But that's what it is. Everyone buys into that story. That's the biggest opportunity that a salesperson has in the video is that they get to sell that story. They get to sell the story of them. Uninterrupted on their own timeline. And the dealership is going to go put it in a place where people are going to be able to consume it. And in some cases, the dealership will actually put some money behind to even advertise it in the first place. How many customers do you have come in? I'm running a little short on time. I just want to look at this real quick. Yeah. All right. That's fine. How would you love to just put that in front of a consumer and say, digest it as you please? Yeah. And when you're ready, give me a call. Yeah. Right? Like, that's the beauty of it. We all hear these stats. Every dealer, everybody who's ever been to an automotive conference. You've heard it. We spend X amount of hours online. They're still not doing it. Right, but how many... We spend, You're one of the few used car managers I know in the area that consistently execute on telling the story of the vehicle via video. There are a handful of them, but it's not every dealership. But it's working. I know, I don't get it, man. Like, sometimes I want to go into a dealership and just like... McFly, right? Like, what are you doing? When you hear the stat, the consumer spends 22 hours researching before they ever step foot into the dealership. Yeah. Wouldn't you love some of their research to be specifically on your car with you in front of them, and then they're like, I like this guy, or I love this car, right? Like it kind of makes sense. People, when they show up to your door, they're ready to buy. Just don't screw it up. And I agree with you, and I think the execution of this needs to come from the top down.
Yeah.
So if you're a used car manager out there, you need to be the one that pushes for the execution of it.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to be the one in front of the camera or the one behind the camera, but you're the one that is consistently, at bare bones minimum, consistently ensuring that the process actually gets done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't think we can depend on our sales staff just necessarily to go do it out there on their own. Right? We need to give them direction, the tools, the training, and develop them, and encouragement to go do it.
I think it's encouragement.
Yeah.
I think really what it comes down to, I think it's encouragement. It's just backing them up and being like, listen, let's just try this out. And when they come back and they show you and you're going, this is a little rough, you give them a little critique.
So I hear a story kind of in there somewhere,
course
right? So so this is something that you must clearly be doing with some of your staff right now.
Yeah.
And so walk me through one. How did you encourage your staff members to pick up the phone and start recording?
I mean, you got, can we use a name?
Sure.
All right. So you got young Dylan. Right?
Yep.
And I love Dylan. If you meet Dylan,
I like him too.
He's a firecracker that's going off in your hand and you can't control it. Right? Like there's no way. It's just like, oh my God. So Dylan knows the value of these videos. He sees me do it time and time again. And he's the new car side guy, right?
Yep.
So he wants to do
He's
this.
the next generation of salespeople. He really is. He totally depicts that.
Yeah. So he wants to use video to help himself.
Yeah. So Dylan, age-wise, what would we say Dylan?
26.
Okay, and he's been in the car business for
3 years.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. He's the next generation.
He's the next generation.
He's the next generation of the car salesman.
Yeah,
he started in his early 20s, and now he's in his mid-20s.
Yeah, he's the guy that's probably listening to the podcast because it's a podcast. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So, like, he's the young guy. He's just got all the energy. He knows where to put it. But like everybody, he's going, man, I don't know what to do.
So how do you harness that energy?
Yeah, so how do I do this? So he goes out and does a couple of videos, runs back over, Skin, what do you think? So I'm looking at it, I said, well, dude, it's great, man, but, you know, your cropping of the video is a little rough. He says, well, what do you mean? I said, like, I get that you want to be in the video, but you have to put the car in the video as well. Like, you got to hold the camera back, dude. I mean, all I'm seeing here is the side view mirror, right? So he's like, okay. Goes back out, does another, what do you think? And I'm like, this is great, man. Like, okay, let's use this. What do you want to do with this? Right? So we do something fun with that. He uses it. And lo and behold, I kid you not, like his second or third time out, he cracks a guy. Dude's in Mexico on vacation. I can't make this up.
Yeah.
In Mexico on vacation. He was looking for a specific vehicle. He'd been told by a dealer they have it, but they don't. Mm-hmm. So he's very leery. So he
got burned.
Yeah, he's legit.
He spent all this time.
Yeah.
His climax up to this point. I found it. I found the car I'm going to buy, and then he calls the dealership, and no, they don't have it.
Yeah. So now he's in Mexico on vacation, and he's got all the time in the world. So he's just blanket emailing every store.
Yep.
Do you have XX in stock in silver or black or whatever? Mm-hmm. So here's young Dylan on the verge of creating some videos. Gets this email, goes, I'm on it. We got it. Goes outside, video with the truck, sends it off. That night, deposit, sold, done, from Mexico. Right? Yeah. And he says, I'm buying it because I know it's there.
Well, and I think that's key is, you know, a lot of people still, even though the stats are there, still don't believe that 22 hours of research, 2 months worth of research and shopping online, right? People are at the stage that if we give them enough reason to buy, they'll put their money down.
For sure they
will.
will.
Of course, obviously, they still want to come into the dealership and physically touch and feel and everything else, but I know a lot of dealerships, including your guys themselves, you're taking a lot of deposits over the phone.
Yep.
A lot.
You want to know how many cars we sold last year that were never test driven, never stepped foot in my store?
I would love to know that stat.
It's over 30.
No way.
Used cars.
So you're talking right around 10%, give or take?
Yeah.
Okay.
Used cars.
Wow.
Never test driving.
10% of used cars you sold last year never even took a test drive. Yeah. They were so confident in the research and shopping that they did, the content that you provided to them, that they were ready to pull the trigger without even driving the car. Mm-hmm. Like, that's pretty badass.
That's a used car.
Like, that really is.
Do you know how many people have told me that?
Especially on used. Yeah. Like, especially on used. Because you got to understand, like, on the new side, you know, look, we all get it. Yeah. You know, we visit 2 dealerships before we make a purchase because, look, a new Rogue's a new Rogue at, 30 different locations. It don't really make a difference, right? But there's 200 used whatever Sentras or Rogues or Muranos or whatever it is. There always going to be some variation of conditioning and...
A 2011 Murano with 88K?
There's going to be a lot of different variations of that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot.
But when you do a video and you are transparent and authentic is the key thing as well.
Their confidence just increases, you know?
Yeah.
They don't feel like you have anything hiding.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
Right? And I had a lot of people tell me that'll never happen. or it's a one-off. Or,
I think I've heard that one before too.
Yeah. But it's slowly coming around.
Well, I also told that dealerships will never embrace video because of the cost of production, right?
Yeah.
Yet I have dealerships in 2019 literally have budgeted $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 for video production.
That's amazing.
I mean, I literally have dealerships right now that are staring down the barrel, just on the new car side, not the used car side, producing between 90 to 160 videos this year.
That's
a single point location.
That's unreal.
Well, I mean, we just look at up to this point, we kind of talk about video from kind of the organic perspective, but when we look from the paid perspective, the one crazy thing, we were able to manage millions of dollars last year in ad spend, right? And the one thing I pulled from, which is astronomically insane, is that the cost per video view really did not change. It didn't matter if you were in Toronto or if you were in Coburg.
No kidding.
All right? Pretty much the entire year of 2018, we consistently measured 3 to 5 cents per view. Look, that's not always going to be the case.
Yeah.
I started doing Google AdWords back in 2008. We owned the keyword Corvette for like 15 cents for the entire southwestern part of the United States. Right?
Yeah.
I legitimately remember having a very serious boardroom meeting where our cost per click went from 15 to 18 cents. And they're like, whoa, Jason, what the hell is going on? If I try to repeat those results today, it'd be like $3 to $5 a click,
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, the cost, you're right, the production cost.
Yeah.
These devices in themselves, if I wanted full HD, video, even 5 or 7 years ago,
would it cost you a ton of money?
Yeah, 24 megapixels, 24 frames per second. It would cost you a good chunk of money. Same thing with these GoPros, 4K video for $300 a piece, incredibly wide angle. It just comes down to the audio anymore, but otherwise than that,
Well, I mean, and that's the thing, right? There's the other excuse. So I don't have the right equipment, or I did this video and there's a little bit of wind noise. Who cares, man? That's just one video out of the 300 videos you should be producing for used cars this year.
Yeah, the cost of equipment is definitely not an excuse anymore. No. It really, really isn't.
No, I used that one.
Yeah.
I did. I used that
one.
Did you? Oh, yeah. I need a mic. My wife, go get a mic. I need a special handheld freaking gimbal thing. Go get a gimbal. Right? Believe me, I have a lot of money invested in equipment that sits in a camera bag that I get heat for every time we go on vacation because I don't need it.
I did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I invested a very good chunk of money into an entire green screen room. And I'm like, I'm going to be in my green screen room 2-3 times a week. Yeah. I'm going to produce educational videos about I got through 2 sessions in there, and I said, who the hell has time for this?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's when I mounted 2 GoPros to my car.
I was going to say, your green screen is your maximum, dude. You're just sitting there just pumping out videos.
A lot of people thought it was intentional. Oh, it was just a hack.
Yeah.
It was just, that's where I spent literally the most amount of time. I spent 3 hours a day in my car.
Wild.
It's like, if I'm going to do something, that's when I was going to do it. Right?
And that's the thing, right? For salespeople sitting there, they're waiting for the up bus.
You easily got 3-4 hours of downtime.
Oh my gosh.
Easy 3 or 4 hours of downtime.
When my salesperson sends me 7 memes a day, it's like, dude, come on, go out there and do some work, would you? We've got exponential amount of time.
And then you get the stupid excuse. I love this excuse. This is one of my favorite ones. Well, I don't know what to do a video about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are you bloody? Come on, let's talk about it real quick. I mean, you're at a dealership.
Yeah.
The sheer amount of content available for you to produce is just
mind-boggling,
astronomically ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, and the cool thing is things are changing, especially on the used car side, even more so, right? The new car, okay, fine, I can get it. There's only so many. All right, fine. I've done 15 different videos about the all-new Nissan Altima. Okay, we're gonna get to a point where But with the used, that's not the case. I mean, you sell a car, another one comes in, and it's not just about the car, but how you recondition the vehicle and what's going on just locally in your side. It's just, dealerships are a content factory.
For sure. I mean, there's the comical side of dealerships that everybody knows we have been seeing.
Yeah, make it real.
You could do the PG version, right? We could do that, and we could have, or not. You can have fun with that because let's face it. I mean, people do appreciate it, and I think if people understood the lighter side of car sales, I think they might understand the persona a little bit more. Right?
Oh, see, I think that's really key too. Another advantage of producing videos is that it creates a real person.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Look, I think the perception of the general public of us as car salesmen is that we're robots, right?
Yeah.
And we're literally designed and built to take your money.
Yeah, and
we're
take
actually we're just people too, with very similar hobbies and likes and dislikes.
I like the robots.
Quirkiness. That's what they think.
That's spot on. Yeah, they don't treat you like a person sometimes.
No.
And not by any. I'm not bashing on a consumer, but they just they don't see that side.
They've been conditioned that way for years.
Yeah.
You know, so now we have this opportunity with video to literally knock down those walls, and I think that's another reason of why your customers are so confident in their purchases. Even so much so that 10% of them will even test drive, that they had the opportunity to actually consume the real side of sales. That it's not just a robot there, that it's a real person. Now,
I'm going to put a warning in there because you just brought up something that reminded me of something. Okay, I had a sales guy who was, I would say, very good with video. Never had to prompt him to go do it. He was always out on the used car lot taking videos. Okay. And he had a amazing personality on camera. Like, he was just, you know what I mean? He was
very charismatic.
Oh, dude, like a huge character. Now, customer comes in, and it is a totally different person. Quiet, stale, boring. Like, I'm not even trying to be rude. Just the polar opposite. Authentic.
When he got around other people, he kind of shut down, clammed up a little bit.
No, he put on his acting. He was a great actor. Right? But the real him wasn't that interesting, unfortunately. If you're not interesting, don't be interesting. Be you. Because it should match what happens on video when they come in to talk to you.
If you are naturally charismatic, then be naturally charismatic. If you're old and crusty, be old and crusty.
Absolutely.
Like, there's value in being old and crusty too.
Hey, you're to the point. You spit facts, right? Like it. I mean, you don't have to be a jerk.
Sure.
But just be like, hey, so this is a 2015 Nissan Rogue, and it's got this, and you just walk through. You don't have to be all jumping. You don't have to be all salesy. That's cool. Do you? So when a customer comes in and goes, hey, Ron, how's it going? Oh, hey, how's it going? Right? It matches. People are like, yep, that's the guy.
Well, it's because we want them to have the same experience that they receive online, both offline as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, if you don't match it up, you lose a lot of credibility.
Okay, so let's take a second here. We can actually recap this real fast. So, talk about some of the best practices. First one that we just finished right now. Be you. Whatever personality, as charismatic or as crusty you are, just be that person, right? The other one, I love the idea of just get the first 2 done, first 3 done. Just get it out of your system.
Just bang out some
horror
shows.
They're going to be atrocious. You're going to stare at the camera and go, what am I doing? Just get those done. I really, really like that, right? And what are some of the other ones I missed real quick?
Well, I mean, if you want to talk about actually doing the work, set up a routine.
Yes, routine. Thank you. The routine, I think, was a big one. I think those are probably the 3 takeaways that are probably the best, both from the management's perspective. I think I'd add a 4th one from the management's perspective. Develop your staff. All right. Encourage them. Work with them. All right. Buy the effing equipment. It is not that bloody expensive. Get a selfie stick for them. Get them a mic if they want a mic. Just eliminate and suffocate the excuses.
Absolutely, 100%.
It's just like, let's just eliminate the whole thing. So I think if you take all of those best practices, you put them all together, then either at the management level or at the salesperson level, you're gonna win. You're gonna win. And if I was to add kind of an over lying kind of theme over the whole thing, is that when you're doing the videos, do it for the customer. Don't do it for your own benefit. Really make it for them. And you'll always win.
Absolutely, 100%. Like you hit the nail on the head with that one. This is strictly for a customer. You couldn't have put it any better when you said, do it like you were talking to your buddy. Right?
Don't make it self-serving.
No. This is for my buddy Jason.
Complete transparency.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk around the car with you, man. We're gonna have some laughs because I'm gonna goof up a couple times. And at the end of it, I'm going to sign off and say, hey, thanks for watching, and, come see me, right? That's the only self-fulfilling prophecy in this is at the end, you sign yourself off, and that's fine.
I think that's perfect.
Right? And the last but not least, and I can't stress this enough, this is not a 10-day project. This is not a 30-day project. This is not lights on, all of a sudden, customers banging at the door, oh, skinny, where are you, skinny? No. This is a venture. This is something that you have to fall in love with doing this. If you don't fall in love with seeing the video results and seeing a customer every now and then call for you, that ball will start rolling and start rolling and start rolling. It may take a month, it may take 3, it may take 5, but eventually, when you have 400 plus videos, you have 180.
Take appreciation in the wins.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Like, you know.
And forget about the losses. Just continue to move forward. Put those blinders on and run that race.
Yeah, you've got to fall in love with that type of work because it's not something that will turn on right away.
Yeah.
Right? That's something I've almost quit doing videos a lot of times.
Just because you just didn't quite see where it's coming from. You got to make that commitment, right?
You do.
You make the commitment. You make it the routine.
Yeah.
All right, and you'll continue to crush it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Hey, thanks, Skinny. I really appreciate you coming out here tonight. I know it's late and taking the time to hang out with me and the audience we have.
Problem.
Is there any final, goodbye? Actually, good one. How can people connect with you?
Yeah.
And how can they check out some of the videos that you produce?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a horrible example of my YouTube channel because it's not even close to anything branded with Skinny. If you search up my videos, the easiest way to search is probably just searching Coburg Nissan on YouTube. You'll pull up all the videos. All else fails, I think my username on YouTube is JuniorMint83. JRMint83. I have no idea where this name came from.
Totally help you fix that one.
Yeah, no idea where that came from. Anyway, search Coburg Nissan on YouTube. You'll find probably a good source of my videos on there. And if you have any questions, I'm more than welcome to talk to anybody about it. It's, as you can probably tell, it's my passion. It's a weird kind of hobby that I love doing that is no longer a job.
Yeah.
And that's the benefit for me. I no longer see this as a job. I'm not going out there, I gotta do a video again. No, I'm like, cool, let's go do some videos. Let's go have fun.
I think that's great, man. You guys heard it. All right. You have any questions? You'd like to talk to Skinny? Check out his videos. Make some comments. Mention this podcast. That'd be absolutely awesome. And reach out to him. He's a very approachable guy. Hey, thanks so much.
Thanks,
I really appreciate being on here.
Yeah.